Welcome, my friends, to Reykjavik, Iceland. I just arrived last night, taking my first steps into the city. It's actually a Sunday morning, and I heard the church bells up ahead ringing, so I thought it might be interesting to see what an Icelandic church looks like. I'm holding one of my gloves above my camera to try and stop it getting too much snow falling, but that might be a fool's errand on a day like today. But for the meantime, let's take a little look at this beautiful church. Just an imposing tower. No doubt one of the notable landmarks here in Reykjavik. Really curious what the inside looks like. Hopefully I can make it in. First impressions of Iceland. It's snowy. It's icy. It's living up to the name. Wow, look at this. You know, it's hard to put into words, but something about that church was deeply moving to me. Obviously, there's the Christmas spirit, you know, it's the middle of December right now. But also just the architecture and just the way they build it. It's so minimal, but so beautiful, which to me is the essence of Scandinavian architecture. Maybe Scandinavian way of life, you know? Just these simple but beautiful buildings. Let's continue our walk down what I can only imagine is one of the main streets of Reykjavik. But this is my first time exploring it as well, so everything you're seeing for the first time, I'm also seeing for the first time. It surprises me to see those scooters even here. I thought the climate might be a bit too intense for those, but I have seen a few. And the snow, which was burying my camera only minutes ago, has almost completely stopped. Wow, look at this building across the street. Christmas vibes for sure. I want to take you down the main street, but also just looking down here, I see some colorful houses under the gray sky. Actually, the gray sky is not so gray anymore. Is that a bit of blue I see? Peeking through the clouds. Look at that. 11 a.m. The sun is rising. A little coffee shop. Christmas tree in the square. What a beautiful city. Oh. This bakery looks quite good too. I think I'll stop in for a treat. So this cost me 720 Icelandic. It's about $6 US. Nobody said Iceland was cheap, but they do make a good pastry. Yeah, you can tell this was baked fresh this morning. We're now back to the main street. Now, there was no guarantee that I would get daylight when it's actually not raining or snowing. So I am happy that I can show you this walk under clear skies, which is definitely not guaranteed when you visit this time of year. Look at that, a Chinese restaurant, Shanghai. And I see some interesting street art. Look at that. Up on the right. I'm now leaving behind the main street and heading towards the first view of the sea. Supposedly, you can see the northern lights directly from a lookout spot here on the water, which to me is quite remarkable because in Canada you can see it, but you usually have to go very far out of the city. And I'm not saying that it won't be clearer if you leave Reykjavik. If you want to do some professional photography, yeah, you should probably book a tour and leave the city, but the fact that you can sometimes see it clearly right from this coastline, that is something cool. But while you might be tempted to look up, don't forget to look down. If you don't have the right footwear, the ice here can be a challenge. This is cool though. I see more little slivers of sunlight up ahead. It's interesting to see some of the familiar brands that I recognize from Canada, but a lot of other brands noticeably absent from Iceland. McDonald's, which is about as global as any company you can name, had a location in Reykjavik, but it closed. Someone told me that the Icelandic people just prefer their own burgers. A lot of people I spoke to said not to spend much time in Reykjavik, that in Iceland you want to get out of the big city and explore the nature all around it. Now, not to discount the epic nature, epic in the true sense of the word, the epic nature of the landscapes of Iceland, but sometimes, often in fact on my travels, I've found that the places people say there is nothing, there is something. If you just look a little bit closer. And I'm currently getting surrounded by birds. I don't know what's going on. They came to listen to my video, I guess. But if I can offer any advice from my travels, it's to come to your own conclusions about places. Don't listen to the guidebook or the friend who had a bad experience somewhere and said they know what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Come to your own conclusions in life. And my first conclusion about Reykjavik, not sure what those people were doing, wouldn't want to step there. But my first impression of Reykjavik is very high. There's a peaceful energy to this place. And I am going to put my camera down for a bit and experience it for myself. Hope this has inspired some people to visit the beautiful country of Iceland. If you enjoy this, let me know. I can do some more walk and talks. But for now, I'm going to leave you with some footage of the yellow lighthouse.